Horoscope 2022 Cancer. The fortune teller has prepared a prediction for the zodiac sign Cancer, which is celebrating its birthday between June 21st and July 22nd. In the introduction to the horoscope, we look at the basic characteristics and features of Cancer. Subsequently, we will clarify the prediction from the fortune teller in love, finance, health and career for the whole year 2022. Personality of Cancer in 2022. Cancer's life is closely connected with the water element, which also rules the signs of Scorpio and Pisces. The water element is known for its constant movement, like a flowing river. However, it is slow and steady, and keeps its secrets hidden under the water. The water element is extremely strong. It is connected with the elements of death and mysteries, which are hidden deep in the soul of every sign of the zodiac, which is ruled by the water element. Throughout life, the sign deals with the issues of its spirituality, which is mostly associated with the roots, parents and the entire genetic heritage of Cancer. The water element transfers the emotional plane from other generations to Cancer's life. Cancer is a receptive sign of the zodiac that knows how strongly his life is connected to his family roots. The water element is, from an overall point of view, the element that offers the most possibilities of all the other elements. Cancer therefore has many opportunities in life to choose its own path, to follow its ideals, and to live according to its own ideas. Water allows Cancer a very creative expression of emotions, and puts maternal feelings and a lot of talent into the Cancer's soul. Even during 2022, the horoscope specifies that Cancer will be closely connected to their water element, which will not allow them to stand still or spin in a circle. On the contrary, Cancer will tend to progress in several life directions. The strongest characteristic feature of Cancer is its enormous tenacity and ingenuity. Cancer is considered an emotional sign of the zodiac, which is very sympathetic. The color of 2022, predicted by Cancer Horoscope 2022, is white, which is also the lucky color of every Cancer. The Cancer will thrive the most in career life, in projects, and in work progress during Monday, which is also a happy Cancer day for 2022. You will achieve high compatibility with the signs of Capricorn, Taurus, and Leo. Cancer will get along well with Leo, especially in the financial and career direction. You may even consider doing business with this zodiac sign, because your mutually negating elements, water and fire, are the perfect combination for a thriving and imaginative business. In love you achieve high compatibility with Capricorn and Taurus. With these signs of the zodiac, you will understand, not only in the area of mutual emotions, but also in solving any problems that will bother you. Capricorn and Taurus will be not only an exceptional partner for Cancer, but also a good friend. You can also make strong friendships with the signs of the zodiac Pisces, Scorpio, and Libra. Horoscope 2022 also speaks of high compatibility with Gemini, because it is this sign of the zodiac that will help you find the answer to an important life question during the year. So it's not literally compatibility, but from the beginning, Gemini becomes a mysterious person who reveals a certain secret about his own personality during the year. The ruling planet of Cancer is a mysterious moon which, as usual, will wander all the signs of the zodiac in 2022 as well. The moon brings strong feelings of motherhood and harmony with home to Cancer's soul and life. The astrological house where Cancer feels best is the fourth house of the home and family. Several astrological transits during 2022 mean an effect on the fourth house of Cancer, but you will feel the most occupied family home in September 2022. The complete horoscope 2022 Cancer will tell you more about how the passage of individual planets through the Cancer astrology house will affect its energy and future. The moon connects Cancer with the overall inner world, which connects Cancer's thinking and logical thinking with the supernatural perception of the surrounding world. More than one Cancer has been given the opportunity to perceive such things in the life that others do not see. Cancer provides the strongest support and understanding for compatible zodiac signs. Cancer's mutual love with his partner will generally be on a harmonious level, with the Cancer only having to pay attention to specific transits affecting the loving energies around it. The moon in the life of Cancer also causes a double personality, which is fought mainly by Cancer born in the month of June. July Cancer tends to be less reckless, and the personality of July Cancer is more stable. The situation will be similar during 2022, when the double face of several Cancers is calmed by other energies. One of the characteristic features is the strong resistance of Cancer to stress and to external negative manifestations towards its personality. Even during 2022, you will be very resilient, and you will have to deal with that information about your person that will not bring you joy. However, you will handle any gossip or slander of your personality very well, mainly due to the power of your ruling planet. You are a resilient person who focuses on family life and the practical search for the meaning of life. The female energy of Cancer will be very strong and will allow you to identify with your inner energy. Horoscope 2022 indicates that on several occasions, your external actions will be slightly inappropriate, and therefore quarrels or misunderstandings may occur in your personal life. The energy of Moon and your ruling element brings joy and happiness into your life even during 2022. From a health point of view, we explore several aspects that affect the energies of Cancer, but generally do not undermine the emotional health of Cancer, which is extremely important to you in 2022. A deeply intuitive and sensitive Cancer seems to be one of the most difficult signs to understand for other signs of the zodiac. The year 2022 will not be an exception either, because Cancer will feel the need to escape from reality, to be alone, and to devote itself to its own mental development several times a year. Cancer is a very emotional and sensitive sign of the zodiac, which cares about family and home improvement. The year 2022 will provide more opportunities for those Cancers who want to change certain things in their personal lives and bring more happiness and satisfaction to their lives. Loyal Cancer will be able to empathize with the pain of others, and therefore will be an exceptional friend, a good counselor and a member of the family, who is completely irreplaceable in many ways. Some Cancers are specific in their surroundings with their pessimistic view of the world, because they see the negative things happening in the surroundings too real. Although Cancer may seem like a very strong personality from which problems are reflected, it analyzes every word within it, or every act that has hurt it in life. The mind of Cancer is sometimes so engrossed in the emotional plane and thinking of relationships that you cannot sleep because of the unceasing flow of thoughts. In 2022, certain monthly transits will also rob you of a good night's sleep, but we will talk more in the health horoscope. Cancer does not like any criticism of his personality, especially if it comes from his family. However, Horoscope 2022 foretells a huge resilience to Cancer, which you can use even in case of emotional and family problems. This year, dear Cancer, will provide you with many opportunities to enjoy perfect relaxation in the places you love. You can help your loved ones and children grow mentally, and you will have the opportunity to enjoy a lot of good food with friends and in the circle of your family. Some Cancers, those engaged in artistic activity, will progress in 2022 due to high imaginativeness. Horoscope 2022 indicates that you will also use your powerful personality weapons, such as manipulating other people. This is especially true for Cancers who are older and know how to control their emotions and moodiness perfectly. They will be perfect manipulators. The year 2022 will also be influenced by the basic elements and characteristics of the Cancer sign. Cancer's health, emotional imbalance, or any stress can be eliminated with Cancer in 2022 with citrus oil, which should be a common part of your home and office. We will talk more in the following chapters about how aromatherapy will help you overcome stress and pain. The friendships formed will be strong. Cooperation with compatible zodiac signs will be very beneficial. This year will also bring you many opportunities to meet new friends or co-workers. Single Cancers receive as a gift rich opportunities to discover new love. Those in relationship will strengthen their existing relationships. Positive changes in Cancer life in 2022. The year 2022 will bring balance and stability to Cancer's life. You can continue with the running projects, but you also have to deal with the past. From a positive point of view, every Cancer will have the opportunity to get rid of violent and unbalanced relationships. In the field of love, February, March, and April in particular are excellent months. These months are great for enhancing your relationships and strengthening the shackles, as the 7th house of partnership and the 8th house of transformation are heavily occupied. You build relationships, not only between you and your partner, but also between family members and your friends. You also have the opportunity to enjoy intimate pleasure and love with your partner. Love will show you in new colors, and you will be able to love on a new level. Your partner will be honest and open with you, which will further strengthen your mutual connection. In 2022, Sign Cancers will also have several opportunities to meet someone interesting. These 3 months come into play again, which are very positive in terms of love and family relationships. Until June, the single Cancers must not miss opportunities for new acquaintances. From April to August 2022, there are no transits that would negatively affect the family life of Cancer. If you have recently experienced complicated interpersonal relationships, especially with your siblings, from the beginning of August until the end of this month, you have the opportunity to increase and strengthen these relationships. In August, the planet Uranus is in the 7th house of partnership in a retrograde motion, and therefore you now want to develop your own spirituality and your relationships on a deeper level. Thanks to Uranus in the 7th partnership house, you will also try to look into the past and find out how your past has affected who you are now and how you have access to your current relationship. You can carry on any disappointment from the past until 2022, but at the end of 2022, astrological transits will help you free yourself from these energies. From August, singles can also focus on new contacts, but on personal development. These new contacts, which you will receive from August until the end of 2022, do not necessarily mean new love, but they will help you to discover yourself and find new possibilities for love. In the second half of the year, from September 5th, you have many opportunities to connect your family life with your work. There are opportunities to start a business with family members. These will enrich not only your life, but also the financial background and career of your loved ones. In the second half of the year, your thoughts will return to your childhood. If you grew up in a harmonious family, it will be an exceptionally happy time for you. Throughout the year, Cancer tends to leave relationships in which he no longer feels tenderness and love. However, you are aware of the value of your partner, and you do not make these decisions suddenly. Several transits have reminded you to consider your decisions in love. Especially during the months of September, October, and November 2022, your love can be tested by a romance related to your work. You best analyze your situation and decisions in love in the second half of September and throughout October, when you may be behaving too analytically, because you do not want to enter into any relationships before you think about how they should develop. You are influenced by the planet Mercury, which can to some extent block your spontaneity, which is very positive and desirable for you. The month of December will remind you from a positive point of view of the value of your relationship, and will also remind you of the fact that you have relationship reserves and can develop what you have. It tells you that you don't have to look for love elsewhere. End the year 2022 in the arms of faithful love. If your love has not been affected by the negative transits of the year, it is clear that you will end the year 2022 with the man who is your destiny. In terms of work, you will have many opportunities for career success. The unemployed get a lot of chances to get a job. The graph indicates success, in finding a new application, and even the opportunity to start from scratch. You have the opportunity to finish a job that you don't like and realize in an activity that will be successful. From March 20th until the end of April, you will receive great recognition at work. There will be opportunities for travel and relaxation in April and May, when you can rest and relax. For some, the middle of the year means the beginning of a business. The whole year 2022 is carried in the spirit of opportunities and possibilities for application in creative activities. Unemployed Cancers looking for work in the field of creative activity. They will succeed in 2022. Several transits force you to reveal your creative self and be realized, for example, in the field of literary activity, in writing a blog, or in publishing a book. From the point of view of finances, you will do a financial analysis of your expenditures and your earnings from last year right at the beginning of 2022. In February, you can even buy more small items for yourself, which will please you and not even disrupt your financial stability. You can indulge in something that will help you with your regular chores. Hiring a household helper gives you a lot of free time that you can use for your future success. In the second half of March, until the first half of April, you have the opportunity for exceptional financial success for the work you have done. In April, the planet Mars acting on your sign represents an extraordinary financial success stemming from your past efforts and your past work. Mercury in the second house also gives you a chance to improve your finances through a certain sale. In case of Cancer, this sale is associated with offering ideas and projects. So don't be afraid to present your ideas outside, especially if you get this opportunity in the second half of the year. In July and August, you will be lucky in any area of finance, and these months can even mean an unexpected win or inheritance. The biggest huge opportunity to win is from 28th to 30th July. Take full advantage of these 3 days. From the point of view of health, there are no extraordinary illnesses waiting for you that would negatively affect the harmony of your overall year. In terms of aromatherapy, the healing oils are citrus oils, which strengthen your immunity. They can relieve you of mild headaches or indigestion. Every Cancer should include lemon water in their drinking regime. To strengthen immunity, echinacea is suitable, from which you can make a healing tea full of health. Include not only lemon water in your diet, but also leeks, fennel and spinach, especially in the second half of 2022. These habits will help you strengthen your health. As of November 17th, Horoscope 2022 indicates that you will finally be able to find the cause of your illness, which has plagued you for a long time. If the disease does not affect you, you will find the causes of the illness of your family members. Overall, 2022 is a positive year, with only small fluctuations in energy and vitality. Negative changes in Cancer life in 2022. The month of January 2022 will be extremely challenging for Cancer. Several astrological transits are concentrated in the 7th and 8th houses of Cancer. January is guaranteed to test your personal relationships. Your thoughts will be directed to the past, and over several nights it will rob you of an undisturbed, quality sleep. Those Cancers who are in an unstable, superficial love relationship will have to say goodbye to these connections in January. Say goodbye to relationships that have no future for you. January will also transform certain friendships into love relationships. However, you need to be careful if turning a friendship into a love bond is worth your short-term satisfaction. From an emotional point of view, January is testing not only the strength of the relationship, but also the Cancer value ladder. Several transits look at whether Cancer cares about material satisfaction or love. Single Cancers will tend to look for wealthy partners, regardless of whether their emotions are solid and have a deep emotional basis. At the end of February, unexpected news concerning the love or health of family members may come into Cancer's life. From a health point of view, these news may not be positive. On July 12th and 13th, you will be hit by a full moon in the sign of your exile, which may mean the breakup of relationships that do not have a solid foundation. Horoscope 2022 mainly describes beginning relationships that have overcome a serious conflict or problem in the near past. From the point of view of emotions, the months of July and August will also affect those Cancers who have harmed a friend mentally. This is because old emotional wounds and injuries that do not allow you to sleep emerge and remind you of all your negative practices from the past. In 2022, astrological influences also indicate an interest in your person from the perspective of a third person. Love petitions and romances can subvert unstable relationships that do not have deep emotional foundations. Be careful during the months of October and November, when several astrological transits are complicated by their influence on the love of Cancer. Even single Cancer can put too much pressure on someone they are interested in these months. Thus, Cancers can themselves turn down opportunities to build a relationship. The month of September emotionally connects you with the basis of your family life. Cancer will return to childhood with thoughts. If you grew up in broken family relationships, it will be a very complicated period for you, full of memories and reliving worries and sorrows. In September, Horoscope 2022 also alerts you of fake friendships. From November 16th to December 6th, you have to watch out for infidelity again, because the provocative Venus and Mercury have a negative effect on the emotional stability of Cancer. These transits should be watched especially by those Cancers who are in long-term relationships from which passion and intimacy have vanished. Each of you must now beware of love affairs that would only result in tears and sorrow. From the point of view of work, you perceive negative energies from May 1st to 28th, when it is necessary to pay great attention to the quality of your work, because you can unexpectedly lose your job. In June and July, female Cancers should pay attention to their career growth. Someone will underestimate your intelligence, and you will get career opportunities, mainly because of your appearance, or because of your superior's interest in a love affair. Be careful, because such an approach to work could damage your reputation. From a financial point of view, do not plan anything new, especially at the end of May, because your plans will not be successful. From May 23rd to June 3rd, you are trying unnecessarily, because all the planned financial changes in your life will be thwarted. From August 11th to September 5th, the position of Venus means great extravagance, especially for women born under the sign of Cancer. The end of October is associated with extraordinary financial expenses, which are mainly related to your children. These financial expenses can negatively affect you and disrupt your financial stability by the end of 2022. The challenging month for health and energy will be May 2022, which will cause mental restlessness and even physical pain. It hits those Cancers who suffer from back pain. May transits will also weaken the immunity of all Cancers. Consequently, there are no health warnings, but the second half of September is coming, which focuses on women born under the sign of Cancer. Especially pregnant women have to be very careful about all activities that could complicate their pregnancy. From September to the second half of October, those women in high-risk pregnancies must relax and avoid the necessary activities. Take care of your pregnancy and any complications associated with it. Thus, the year 2022 also brings several warnings for Cancer, and it would be appropriate if Cancer remembers important dates that will play with the energy, finances or career of each Cancer. In the Great Horoscope of Love, Work and Finance, and in the Great Horoscope of Health you can see a detailed prophecy for 2022. Dear Cancer, if you like the horoscope, please support us and subscribe our channel. For more horoscopes Cancer, visit to links that you can find in the video description. Biggest Horoscope 2022 are prepared by fortune teller and site www.horoscope-divination.com. Wish you all the best in 2022. Love, family, friendship, and pregnancy horoscope Cancer 2022. Prediction for Cancers in relationship. The introduction of the year 2022, specifically the month of January 2022, means a very unusual position of the planet Venus, when in its retrograde motion acts on the 7th astrological house of Cancer. Venus passing through 7th house means an effect on the love of the Cancer in relationship, but also on the planned marriages. On the one hand, it is a positive transit for Cancer, because you see things, not only through your perspective, but you can also look at the problems of others. You perceive what your partner is telling you, and you even perceive what he is hiding from you. However, this position of Venus can cause some paranoia if you have doubts about your relationship. When Venus is retrograde, personal relationships go through a complicated period, a test. You will feel this more significantly when the retrograde Venus passes through your house of partnership, which also happens in the case of the sign of Cancer. From January 1st to 29th, you feel this transit, and this position of Venus emphasizes the dual nature of each Cancer. Not only these born in June, but also the July Cancers will be hit by too much emotional pressure, which will result in an emphasis on your duality. Because of this position, Cancers also lose any impulsivity in their decisions and actions. They prefer to focus on things they already tried, and do not like to think about something new. However, this is correct, because the position of Venus in the 7th house brings mental development, and not changes in life, which are now undesirable. You lose spontaneity in your actions, and therefore you may feel bored. Throughout January, however, you wonder if you look good in the eyes of others, and if the friendships are real. You also think about your relationship, and its meaningfulness. The retrograde Venus in the 7th house can disrupt relationships that were previously affected by complications such as infidelity or addiction. These relations will be subjected to a strong test in January, which will mean either very strong future bonds, or the breakdown of this relationship. However, do not regret anything that disintegrates during the retrograde Venus, because it is this position of love that gives the opportunity for a new restart and new beginnings. You will be very sensitive to your surroundings under the influence of Venus, and you may feel frustrated because other people do not understand your inner emotions. Cancers close even more in their own box, escaping from the outside world. However, January is a suitable month for meditation, for starting sports activities, and for analyzing all your emotions and feelings. On the other hand, it will be difficult for you to end violent relationships, or those that have no future, and in which you suffer. Venus blocks your militancy, and also blocks the energies that help your personal progress. However, you can think about your whole life, your relationship and its future. It is also a good opportunity to have a conversation with a partner, and to understand his feelings. So you can think about your current relationship, which now definitely deserves analysis on your part. You may be struck by an imbalance of feelings and moods, but Venus will open new boundaries for you, and strengthen your sensitivity to others, and to the environment around you. You have the opportunity to know yourself, and to deepen your emotional foundation. However, you will benefit from the past, which is why you need to seek support from your partner. Not only does Venus work in the 7th astrological house of Cancer during January, but it also blends with the energies of retrograde Mercury from January 26th. Mercury has been deposited with the retrograde Venus since January 26th, so two planets are already moving in a retrograde motion on your astrological partnership house. They will bring you a lot of ideas in your personal life, but you will have trouble concentrating on the emotions of others. Rather, you perceive your own feelings, and you focus on yourself. Therefore, your partner or your children may feel that you are cold towards them, and that you do not pay attention to their feelings and needs. The two retrograde planets in January operating on the 7th house give you the opportunity to look at the problems of your partner and your children more objectively than ever before. However, you only analyze things inside, and on the outside you are a cold partner who hides all his emotions only for himself. Your approach to love and relationships is cold, and may seem callous to some. Cancer Horoscope of Love 2022 advises you to be careful in your expression during this period, because your partner could be saddened and hurt by your cold behavior, which is now focused only on analysis, not on expressions of love and communication. You may feel nervous and insecure in the presence of other people, so January is not suitable for social events to which you are invited with your partner. Specifically, retrograde Mercury affects your attitude towards your permanent partner, whom you consider more of a friend or confidant. You see in him a sibling, a friend, not a lover and an object of passion and love. Your self-expression with your partner is now disrupted, but you should use January to rethink your thoughts. Beware of an impersonal approach to others who desire your love and attention. Those whose relationships are in imbalance, or in violent connections, or in the continuation of the relationship after a great problem, should be careful in the period from 2nd to 3rd January, when the new moon is formed in the sign of exile, in the 7th astrological dome. This will cause Cancer, not only to change his moods frequently, but also to break up relationships that have no deep-rooted foundations. You may be subordinate to others during this new moon, and the breakdown of the relationship usually does not come from your initiative, but from the other. January 2022 is a very challenging period, concentrating energy on the 7th astrological house, which indicates another transit on January 16th, when the Sun comes into conjunction with Pluto in the 1st astrological house of Cancer. Strong planets are in retrograde motion during this period, and the conjunction of the bond with the Sun brings a caress for your partnership house. This period, in mid-January, will significantly increase your personal strength and resilience. In a relationship, and in your inner emotions, this position means progressing at home and in the family. You are manifesting your dominant side, and you will need to stand at the head of your household, because the conjunction of the Sun and the Sail multiplies your manipulative behavior, which is one of your basic characteristics. In a relationship, you will also have to face the secrets that you have brought into the relationship. Any skeleton from the past will torment your mind and will prevent you from fully expressing your love for your partner. The whole January seems to be a good month to clear up the relationship and reveal all the secrets you are hiding from your partner. The 7th astrological house is heavily occupied in January, but important planets are moving backwards. This fact suggests that right now you have the opportunity to reveal all your secrets, examine the emotions of others towards you, and reveal your personal strength. From January 24th, the red planet Mars also reaches the 7th astrological house, passing through its sign of promotion. Mars settles in the 7th house in the time of the retrograde planets Venus and Mercury, but gradually it also reaches the period when the energies of the retrograde planets fades away. Subsequently, in February, Mars will no longer be blocked by retrograde planets, so it will fully express a new view of love in your life. Until February 4th, when the retrograde planets hit the 7th astrological house, relationships that are unstable and violent will be ended. Horoscope 2022 recommends ending relationships that have no future and are subverted in depth. Subsequently, under the influence of Mars, you will try to take the initiative in several situations at home and in love. Once again, your dominant nature will appear in the foreground, keeping family happiness buried and enhancing your love for your partner. Mars is in the sign of your promotion, so you will be even more focused on your home and caring for others. Greater closeness to family and your partner, or to your children, means a very happy time for every Cancer after the sound of retrograde planets blocking these positive energies. Mars settles in the 7th house until March 6th. During February, the conjunction of the planet Mercury with the planet Pluto also forms in the 7th house, specifically on February 11th, 2022. At this time, the 7th house is strongly occupied by influential planets. This period means a strong influence on your partnership house, which is now satisfied and happy. In February, you feel great relief in your own emotions and you have the opportunity to strengthen your relationship and move forward with your partner. This period is a great choice for getting married, or for any progress in your personal relationship, engagement, thinking about the baby. This is because the energy of love does not block any negative aspect. February is also an opportunity for single Cancers, but we'll talk about that later. Relationships that have a strong emotional foundation and work on the basis of mutual understanding will thrive. Plans related to your emotions and your love will not disrupt anything now, and everything will go exactly according to your ideas. The strong occupied February's 7th house also gives the opportunity to heal the relationship after any quarrel or misunderstanding. You also have the opportunity to heal relationships that have gone through emotional suffering, such as infidelity or overcoming the addiction of you or the other. Astrological transits and the influence of astrological energies on Cancer Horoscope 2022 describe the possibilities for alleviation after a complicated period in love. Any Cancer who has experienced certain relationship inconveniences should take the opportunity to strengthen the relationship. It is in a period of strong conjunction that you have the opportunity to strengthen and increase your love relationships. And throughout the month of February 2022, Mars is also in your 7th house, as we have already mentioned, so you can show your strength and energy. Mars also means a quick marriage for those who are more impulsive. However, beware of hasty decisions in the area of your love, because under the influence of Mars, you tend to succumb to those who do not appreciate your personality. Look for a friend in your partner, and nowhere else, Cancer Horoscope 2022 points out. In March, you still feel the impact of astrological transits on the important 7th astrological house, in terms of relationships. From March 6th, Mars moves to the sign of Aquarius, and Venus also enters the 8th house. In March, the 8th astrological house is transformed, the house of transformation and regeneration. The love of those in relationship this month is mainly influenced by Venus, which gives you opportunities to succeed and capture the chances in your personal life. Cancer is now extremely concerned about building interpersonal relationships, and you are aware of the importance of your partner, without whom you would not move forward in life and stand still. You can evaluate its qualities, and in your long-term relationships, there is a very balanced period that harmonizes intimacy and trust in your partner. Relationships are now based more on sexual pleasure, so you have the opportunity to enjoy closeness and intimacy with your partner. During March, you will focus not only on your personal relationships, but also on financial well-being and overall satisfaction. On March 18th, the full moon is located in the 4th house, and in the period from March 18th to 20th, this lunar position means a connection with your home in a broader sense. You remember your family, your connected past, and basically everything related to the family. In the area of relationships, you should remember traditional values, where love surrounds the whole family, and is especially important for children. The moon directs your attention to education, understanding, and deep love for the people with whom you build your emotional life. The moon in Libra feels relaxed, so you can also enjoy the joys of intimate life in a relationship. From April 5th, the planet Venus enters a comfortable house, in its sign of promotion. It means not only that you will feel relaxed, but you will also have fun, and you will have the opportunity to relax in the company of your family and loved ones. This position of Venus in the direct direction also means a happy marriage, and the satisfaction of his decisions in love. However, this position of Venus can also mean a manifestation of your manipulative side, and high expectations from the partner. Because you will be kind and charming to others, you have the opportunity to get everything you desire from your partner. However, handle this weapon carefully, so that you do not end up complicating other areas of your life with your actions. Until the end of April 2022, Cancer focuses on other areas of life, and love is balanced, but in the background. You are more aware of the impact on your family, friends, and career life. From April 29th, however, every Cancer will feel the retrograde movement of the bondage planet in the 7th house of the partnership, which you will feel to a gentle extent throughout the period. Pluto will be stronger in the 7th astrological house after the manifestations of Mars after May 2nd. Retrograde Pluto from May 2nd means an unconscious disruption of life harmony. Your selfishness is now almost tangible. You pursue your own interests, your own selves, and for a time you become a selfish person, even though your desire for care is still unrelenting, despite the influence of the retrograde Pluto. You will box things out in your life and try to analyze the relationships of others more than your own. You are trying to transform another person, so you can ask your partner to change their personality. The partner will perceive these energies very negatively, as he feels that you are not satisfied with his person and you want to change him from the ground up. More difficult moments in love can occur mainly in relationships and marriages that have had to go through a crisis in the near past, infidelity, financial difficulties, addiction and the like. As in the initial month of 2022, in January, from May 2nd, you will have to go through minor complications in the relationship, when your relationship will be tested again. For the rest of May, you will focus mainly on health and career. The annual love horoscope also does not anticipate any significant changes in your romantic life and emotional foundation. Rather, you are concerned with long-term health and your career. You will be interrupted from this neutral run in the field of relationships, marriages, and partnerships until July 12th and 13th, when the full moon is formed in the 7th house, but in the sign of its exile. In the area of relations, you must now be careful, because the moon is in exile, and relations may be subject to great tension. This full moon can even cause the breakup of relationships that do not have a solid foundation, and so we are talking mainly about incipient relationships, and those that have overcome a serious conflict and problem. However, the energies of the full moon in exile do not last long, and every Cancer should remember the period of July 12th and 13th, which can be severely affected by love, bring conflicts, and great misunderstandings. Subsequently, the influence of transits on love subsides again, and it focuses its energy on improving relationships throughout July. August subscribes to the word at its conclusion, from August 24th until the end of the year, by moving the retrograde Uranus to the 7th astrological house, a neutral sign. Cancer now desires to develop his own spirituality and relationships on a deeper level. In the area of love, you will try to look into the past, to find out how the past has affected your current life. Once again, unbalanced relationships will pass the test, when you can perceive the interest from another person. This transit in relationships indicates unexpected events, and also affects single Cancers. However, the retrograde Uranus will not interfere with your emotions on a large scale with its slow movement. It will be overwhelmed by certain transits that will appear at the end of the year, affecting your partnership house. In the months of September, October, and November 2022, you will perceive that someone else is also interested in your person in the field of love. Cancer, trying to get his relationships to a deeper emotional level, can easily resist this temptation if his relationship is strong and solid. In the event that your relationship is broken, you must take on your own priorities in life and confront a new acquaintance with a full awareness of how your unbelief would affect the future and your partner's emotions. There are up to 5 retrograde planets in September. Mercury has been joining the group since 10th September. Overall, this means slower progress and more unsuitable opportunities for major life changes. Again, September 2022 reminds those who have intentions of leaving their relationships to thoroughly analyze all of their actions before making an irreversible decision. Although you will tend to leave relationships in September, October, and November in which you no longer feel sparkling passion or tenderness, several transits have alerted you to think and consider your decisions carefully. From September 23rd, retrograde Mercury, which is moving to the 3rd astrological house, can cause relationship problems with others at Cancer. You have trouble obeying the authorities, and your energy is harsh and insensitive. try to distract you from close family and partner relationships so as not to disturb their deep structure. From September 29th, the planet Venus enters the 4th astrological house and is located where it feels good and comfortable. With her quick September transition, Venus has moved to her home sign, in which she feels safe and comfortable. It can be said that this position of Venus is very good. At the turn of September and October, the planets are variously distributed in the homes of Cancer. Because of this, you feel an effect, not only on your family, your home, but also on other areas of your life, which can cause chaos. In love, however, you desire to experience emotions purely and childishly. Desire to enjoy any joy with your partner or your children. Although transits are somewhat negative during this period, your personal relationships will thrive, and you will enjoy their quality. However, you must not allow a person into your life who could disrupt or influence your partner's attitude. On a personal level, however, at the turn of September and October, you achieve great personal development and personal satisfaction by realizing the value and quality of your personal life. October means more positive transits affecting your family life, relationship with children, and also your finances. The effect on love will not be reminded until October 29th, when the planet Mercury enters the sign of Scorpio in the 5th house. You are too far analytical about love and relationships now, and you don't want to make any decisions before you think about how you think they should evolve. It is Mercury in the 5th astrological house, from October 29th to November 17th, that will help every Cancer in the decision to end his relationship, or if the third person is interested in your heart. You will focus on your own self-development and love for your family members. Think carefully about each step you take. Because Mercury blocks your spontaneity, it is astrologically very suitable for important decisions. From November 17th, be very careful again. If you work at home, you may meet someone on a walk or in the store who will mess with your head. Once again, in 2022, your long-term relationship will be tested, points out Cancer Horoscope 2022. You should be careful in these encounters, and think about and consider your decisions, because Venus in this position can disrupt long-term relationships and harm them with consequences for the future. Not only look at your own emotions, but also analyze the needs, feelings and love of your children and your partner. Do not place value on relationships that are based solely on platonic attraction, Horoscope 2022 warns. Mercury is also moving as a sign of its exile, and therefore the horoscope again draws attention to love affairs that can cause the sudden, unexpected and rapid disintegration of your long-established relationship. Beware, Mercury is also associated with hasty decisions, so you should be very careful about your relationships. From December 6th, there are negative aspects affecting unstable relationships, and those in which you no longer feel great passion and love. In the past, you could have thought of escaping into the arms of someone else who provided you with emotions that you no longer feel with your partner. However, December brings change. You will realize that, if you want to feel a passionate desire for the other and love again, you have to do something for it yourself. From December 6th, Mercury will enter the 7th house, which will be heavily occupied in December. You will be attracted by your partner's intelligence, and your curiosity and positive attitude towards personal relationships will enhance our partnership. Now you can put your feelings behind your head and devote your full attention to developing a relationship with your partner. You are interested, not only in his body, in his soul, but also in the common moments that enhance long-term relationships. You connect your life with your partner, which is of great value to you in the future, as you have gone through every complicated transit of 2022. If your relationship is still strong and stable in December, it means that your partner is your faithful love and the most important part of your life. From December 21st, the Sun moves to the 7th house, where you create good interpersonal relationships and you have the opportunity to fully enjoy the end of 2022, which flourishes in terms of love and emotions. The sun located in the 7th house means the realization of oneself through one's partner. The disharmonious moments of 2022 have further strengthened your relationship, and therefore you now have the opportunity to end 2022 hand in hand with balance and love. Your decisions will therefore play an important role in your personal romantic relationships. Anyway, if you end 2022 with the partner you started the year with, it is clear that it is your fateful love, and that your relationship is strong and exemplary for other people. Transits do not indicate the end of relationships that are in harmony due to some external aspect. Cancer relations will only break down in 2022 if Cancer feels with all his heart that these connections must be terminated. December will remind you of the value of your relationship and your partner. It will remind you that you and your partner still have some reserves, but you can develop what you have, and you don't have to look for these things with someone else, somewhere else. Every Cancer and violent, disharmonious, and unbalanced relationships will have to make a decision during 2022. Your decision will also affect the end of 2022. Your decisions during the year will be strengthened by the fact that you will find that you have other options in life, but you will also realize the real value of your current relationship. Horoscope for single Cancers in 2022. The start of the year means not only Venus and the retrograde Mercury for single Cancer. The beginning of January 2nd and 3rd, you will feel the new moon in the sign of exile. Single Cancers will thus tend to harbor emotions towards dominant people who can physically harm you. The moon in this position also blocks new contacts with the environment, so it is better to focus on inner emotions and discover your sexual and spiritual identity. Retrograde Mercury during January 2022 will be challenging even for single Cancers. Each of you will wonder if he looks as much as he wants in the eyes of others. You will be very sensitive to the environment and you will feel that others do not understand you at all. These facts will also give rise to your frustration, and it will be difficult for singles to separate from others who do not make sense in a relationship. You will think more about your relationship, which now deserves analysis on your part, even if it is only a platonic relationship that is currently at the level of your ideas and dreams. Imbalance of feelings can complicate self-knowledge, and the dual personality of singles will be even more noticeable. So during January, focus mainly on your personal development, learn, move slowly forward, and forget about relationships that have long suggested to you that they have no future. In January, you will have to say goodbye to relationships that are unsuitable for you. The 2 January retrograde positions of the planets in mutual connection do not wish the single Cancer, who currently do not have many opportunities to meet new interesting partners. Rather, focus on your past and on the relationships that carry with you the path of the past. The position of retrograde Mercury also affects your attitude towards friends who are even closer to you, and friendly relationships can grow into lovers. However, January recommends that you think carefully about the transformation of the relationship, as impulsive decisions have no place in January. In January, singles do tend to look for wealthy partners with good financial status. Even such an influence on Horoscope 2022 is brought by the astrological January transits on the sign of the zodiac Cancer. Mars, which will enter the sign of Capricorn from January 24th, is working until the beginning of March to end such relations, which had a dubious beginning, based only on passionate attraction. Under the influence of Mars, the Cancer will try to take the initiative in several situations in its life. The planet is in the sign of its elevation, and thus directs Cancer's attention even more to the home and care of others. Your closeness to friends can grow into deeper emotional relationships. On February 11th, when every Cancer feels depersonalized from the most important retrograde planets, Mercury's entry into the 7th house has a great appeal to single Cancers. That's why you can meet new people. Single Cancers will make contacts that are based on deep emotional understanding. Relationships that have a strong emotional basis and work on the basis of mutual understanding will flourish during this period. Any relationship you start in the next 3 months will be stable and harmonious. Nothing will ruin your planning, and everything will go according to your ideas. So if you have set out to pluck the heart of your chosen one, at the beginning of 2022, all astrological transits and locations indicate that in the months of February, March, and April, you will prosper in this determination. Take the opportunity not only to strengthen your relationship with yourself, but also to thrive with friends and family members. Only then will you feel in harmony with your home, which is very important to you. The 7th astrological house in which the planet Mars is located gives you the opportunity in February to show all your strength and energy. You will be attractive, charismatic, and radiating great vitality. So you will radiate all your powerful weapons to the outside. You will attract many more people to your personality than you can imagine. Under the influence of Mars, you may be tempted to look for partners who have harsh dealings in a relationship. But before you agree to a big bond or a fast-paced relationship, be sure of your decision. Mars can confuse you, as a result of which you tend to be subject to impulsive decisions in love. Venus estimates another effect on the love of singles in the 8th house, from March 6 to April 5. For singles, there is a huge opportunity for fun and to release energy. It is mainly an opportunity for those single Cancer who are not interested in long-term relationships, but rather in short-term pleasure. It brings you into the lives of people who share the same views on freedom, independence in life, so you don't have to worry about this approach to relationships hurting you or the other person. As Mars resonates in the 7th house, this position of Venus is an even more suitable opportunity for you to have fun and enjoy your freedom to the fullest. From March 6 to April 5, every Cancer will realize that freedom does not only mean groping in unfulfilled emotions, but can also bring joy and satisfaction in other ways of life. From April 5, Venus enters the 7th astrological house as a sign of his promotion. It not only means that you will have fun, you also have the opportunity to relax in the company of your loved ones. You will be enchanting with others again, and your magical and charismatic personality will be unmissable. Because Cancer will be kind and charmingly to others, they have the opportunity to discover new loves that will be meaningful, because the energies will not allow someone with evil minds to approach you. In the month of March until April 5, you had the opportunity for non-binding pleasure, but from April 5, you can transform this relationship into something more serious, or fully focus on new possibilities. That means satisfying your desire for love and long-term connection with the other. From April 11th, Mercury will join this positive transit in the 11th astrological house. The aspect symbolizes the change from friendship to love. In these moments, you can expect one of your friends to open their hearts to you and confess their feelings to you. These days of April belong not only to harmonious love, good family relationships, but also to friendship and new acquaintances. You have the opportunity to build a new worldview and learn true love. You can teach true love to other people around you. A transit that strikes the love of the singles will take place on April 29th. After this period, Mercury enters the sign of Gemini in the 12th house. Singles have the opportunity to overlook the great benefits of a relationship with someone who is interested in you. Under the influence of this Mercury, you may be blinded until June 3rd, so you will not notice important opportunities that can have a very positive effect on your future. If you are a single Cancer, be on the lookout from April 29th to May 10th, then the planet Mercury becomes retrograde. From this time until June 3rd, increase your attention to anyone who is interested in you. Maybe it will be just the person you end up with a lot of, even if it doesn't seem like it at first. From April 29th to October 8th, the retrograde motion of the planet Pluto in the 7th house will take care of changes in life. Even singles are waiting for changes when you are interested in a completely different type of partner than before. The retrograde Pluto in the 7th house will help the singles open their eyes and see other possibilities around. More difficult moments can occur mainly in relationships and marriages. From April until the summer months of 2022, the singles will get unexpected opportunities for love because they will see people in a new different light. Enjoy this period full of new possibilities and a new perspective on the people around you. In the first half of the year, single Cancers provides many opportunities for discovery and new acquaintances that can bring unexpected love into the life of every single Cancer. In the second half of the year, single Cancers are concentrating on other values of life, although the month of December will again bring interesting changes. For example, July will be interesting from a financial point of view. It will help single Cancers to be more curious and open to new possibilities. The retrograde Uranus from August 24th until the end of the year brings unexpected events to the singles again, when you can happen to meet an important person in terms of love or friendship. The month of September seems to be a good time to travel, and from September 5th to 29th, when Venus moves to the third astrological house, singles have the opportunity to establish partnerships, especially when traveling or studying. Therefore, it is an opportunity for any Cancer who can focus attention on learning new languages, or on new social activities such as dancing, playing a musical instrument or painting. Here you can meet new people who will not play an important role in your status, but they will help you meet other people who will make sense for your love. Venus is moving to the fourth house from September 29th, and now you perceive certain chances of self-development. This development is important for your loving future. You focus on development and achieve deeper personal satisfaction, which results in an increase in your attractiveness, your self-confidence, and new opportunities to meet your love needs. Thus, in the first months of the second half of 2022, you will be sufficiently aware of what to expect from life and what to expect from the love you desire. Some Cancers decide to enjoy life with all their gifts and finally open the door to someone who has a lasting interest in them. Other Cancers currently in relationship will focus on their own self-development and family. From October 23rd to November 16th, Venus is in the sign of its exile. For singles, this Venus is a complicated position. Although Cancer establishes new relationships simply, he discourages another person with exaggerated romance and pressure to move forward quickly in a relationship. If you want your relationships to last and be non-conflicting during this Venus, you must not put pressure on your partner in an area with which he or she is not identified. On the other hand, it is Venus, which by the end of the month, is connected with the upbringing of children and their mental development. Therefore, if you are a single parent, or have the opportunity to care for children in the family, devote yourself fully to these children, who will appreciate your care, and you will have the ideal opportunity to reevaluate your life values. From October 29th, there will be no greater opportunities for the love of singles until the second half of December 2022. So you will focus more on your own self-development and the love of family members. The biggest advantage of the following transits is a positive relationship with children and building a harmonious and strong foundation for their upbringing, as well as strengthening ties with family members. Single Cancers should now be directed in a different direction than the search for love. From October 30th, retrograde Mars will move to the 12th house until the end of 2022, and may return your mind to the past, when you will experience the pain of past loves and your mistakes. You will need more mental resilience to cope well with this period. From November 16th, Venus entering the 6th astrological house will also play with your emotions, which may mean loving connections with such people who already have a partner, or with whom it has no long-term relationship. Such a relationship could hurt you and bring a lot of sadness and depression to your life. From November 16th to December 10th, watch out for any love triangles that would only mean tears and sadness for you. In December, the 7th house is heavily occupied, and every single Cancer is attracted to the intelligence of other people. Cancer curiosity is unlocked. Transits have a positive effect on personal relationships and friendships. You will share not only your feelings, but also your interests and hobbies, which will bring you even closer to those you love. The second half of 2022 will be challenging for singles, but challenging transits end in December, shrouded in love for others and flourishing interpersonal relationships. You will be realized through other people. Your feelings and emotions will be heard by all people who have a sense of your future. True friendships will appear, which mean you're faithful, walking on the right path. Dear Cancer, if you like the horoscope, please support us and subscribe our channel. For more horoscopes Cancer, visit to links that you can find in the video description. Biggest Horoscope 2022 are prepared by fortune teller and site www.horoscope-divination.com. Wish you all the best in 2022. Friends and Family Horoscope Cancer 2022. Family life in 2022. What impact will astrological transits have on the Cancer family during 2022? Cancer's family life will be neglected at the beginning of 2022 under the influence of 2 retrograde planets. Cancer will deepen itself, thus forgetting family members who need support and help. What is close to Cancer, care, devotion and help, will be focused in January mainly on Cancer's own interior. On January 17th, however, the full moon in the first astrological house means the connection of Cancer with his home. Moon in the first house causes instability in the feelings and emotions of Cancer. From the family's point of view, this transit gives you opportunities for thorough care for others, which they will appreciate. This full moon will disrupt aspects of the retrograde planets that block you from focusing on others. From January 16th to 17th, you will see how important it is to take care of others. You have strong maternal instincts, and it doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman. You are also looking for love for yourself and trying to clean up your own emotions for your strong mental health. The whole of January and February is rather focused on the emotions of Cancer and the level of partnership and the search for lover himself. On February 14th, Mercury enters the 8th astrological house, where you will have the opportunity to purify your household energies. The overall care of the household in terms of changing furniture or purchasing new appliances will also be suitable. Your family will be happy with the activity you put into making the household full of love and well-being. At the end of February, Mercury is located in the square with Uranus. Both planets are in a neutral position and can distract you from everyday responsibilities, as it brings a surprise that affects the course of a normal day. These surprises will affect your family life. Simply put, a certain event around this date will force you to change your plans. This can be in the area of finance, friendships, but also family ties. The normal pace of your life will take on a new dimension. You will have to deal with some things on the fly, so there will not be much time left to pay attention to the health of anyone in your family. It is quite possible that there will be disturbing news that will concern the health of someone in your family. From March 18th to 20th, the full moon comes in the 4th house. This lunar position means a connection with the home in a broader sense. We remember our habits, our past and everything related to the family. It is a good time for visits, a good time for closer contacts with family members, with mother, father or siblings. In the area of all family relationships, you should remember the traditional values and importance of your family. On April 16th, your normal days will again be affected by the full moon of the 4th house. April 15th and 16th means a deep connection with your family and your roots. You have the ability to receive all the news in family life, and you are an understanding person, determined to help. Your family life is in balance, and this house also signals the reconciliation and end of disputes. You get opportunities to end the negative vibrations in your family life, so take advantage of them. The following months, until the month of August 2022, are positive in terms of family life, and there are no preconditions for any disputes or misunderstandings. You will draw wisdom and energy from other members of your family that will enjoy your financial and work achievements. From August 4th to August 26th, the planet Mercury enters the third astrological house. In this position, Mercury feels very well and is in the sign of his promotion. The astrological position is good for self-development and creativity. It is also associated with harmonious processes in Cancer's life and brings a positive impact on family relationships, especially on relationships with siblings. Until August 26, you can build relationships with siblings, contact them more often, or be more interested in their lives. This interest will bring you closer and will make you very happy. On August 23, the Sun will enter the third astrological house, and until September 5, you will share your experiences and successes with your loved ones. The favorable position of the Sun represents a number of opportunities for friendships, and also for making new contacts, especially from family members. So you have the opportunity to combine your work and financial interests with family members, who can offer you certain unexpected opportunities for your work growth. Since September 5, the planet Venus is located in the third house and passes through the sign of its fall. This transit will affect not only your family relationships, but also your work ideas and relationship with friends. You need to be careful about relationships with people who just want to benefit from you, regardless of your own feelings. You should get rid of such relationships quickly, and perhaps the habit of someone in your family who will want to use your goodness only for your own benefit will be fully manifested. Avoid such people, and take care not to succumb to the temptation to be too good to those who do not deserve it until the end of 2022. Retrograde Mercury will start its journey in the fourth house of the family from September 10th to October 2nd. Until September 23rd, he brings Cancer a number of connections with his childhood, and multiplies the feelings he thus carries from the early days of his life. It connects you with positive, but also negative feelings from childhood, which you have not yet come to terms with. It can cause conflicts in those families that have been built on conflict, or on unstable subverted foundations. Any bitterness you feel towards someone in your family will now be removed and resolved, or it will hit you hard. It's up to you how you approach these memories. Those whose memories are beautifully warm should spend more time with their family. Your own identity will now be fully manifested, which not everyone in your area may like as the rebellion awakens. However, Cancer can use this position to think about your own family and what aspects you do not want to transfer from your childhood to your own family, and which, on the other hand, have been motivated for as long as you are in life. Appreciate the opinions and freedom of others. This position of retrograde Mercury is difficult because it strongly connects you to the foundations of your family life. The September transit of retrograde Mercury is twofold. On the one hand, it is a very happy time for those who grew up in a harmonious family full of love. On the other hand, it will be a difficult period full of grief and memories for those who had to deal with complicated family relationships as children. From October 10th, the energies associated with your past are calming down. During this period, until October 29th, relaxation will not be easy for you, because you will want to know the roots of your family and analyze your own identity. You have the opportunity to discover your own emotions about the home, because family members bring you mental and intellectual satisfaction. Mercury until October 29th means searching for the life roots of Cancer and discovering the ancient past. The whole of October 2022 is heavily occupied with homes that combine with joy and positive energies for your family life. You focus on your own opinions and perceptions of the world, and you do not allow the negativity of others to interfere with you. You transfer such strong positive energies to your family as well, and therefore your family life thrives, and you feel a huge mental relaxation. The Sun, located in the fifth house from October 23rd to the end of November, means fun and pleasure, so you can fully enjoy your free time according to your ideas. Therefore, pay particular attention to children, family, and discovering the pleasure of the love of your loved ones. The month of November 2022 will be a peaceful period focusing on love, friendship and work. From December 6th, Mercury enters the 7th house and again has a positive impact on personal relationships and friendships, or on personal relationships in the family. Until the end of 2022, there are no negative transits that would affect your family life, or that would indicate an impact on the development of family relationships. So you can enjoy moments full of joy near your loved ones. Friendship Horoscope Cancer 2022. The beginning of 2022 does not affect Cancer's friendships, so until the end of February there are no transits that would cause changes in your relationship with your friends. As of February 25th, the Mercury square Uranus will take place, when your normal pace of life will reach new dimensions. There are some things you will need to solve on the fly, including certain issues that some of your friends will trust you with. This issue may be related to health, when you should take the time to analyze your close friends' problems in detail. Be careful not to neglect something that matters. Someone is approaching you with an important question or a request for help. Subsequently, the friendly relations are influenced by Mercury entering the 11th house from April 11th until the rest of April. You make closer contacts with people who bring joy to your life. This exceptional position of Mercury means strong friendships and opportunities to forge friendly connections. It can symbolize the change of friendship to something more valuable, for love. In these moments, you can enjoy not only relationships at the level of friendship, but also those that go into the emotional foundations. Some of your friends may even open their hearts to you and confess their feelings to you. These days of April belong not only to harmonious love, but also to good family relationships and friendships, the importance of which you are fully aware of. Learn true love and show your friends what an important part of your life they cover. Until May 21st, you perceive the position of the Sun in the 11th house, when you use your sense of intuition, and, thanks to it, you will discover several things in your life. You perceive how great a gift your imagination and intuition is, which you share with your friends. The Sun in the 11th house gives you the opportunity to support your friends with your unquenchable energy full of understanding. Even if you tend to avoid learning friendly contact, you will still help someone who really needs your help. The Sun in Taurus unblocks your loneliness, and so you have the opportunity to impress in the team. You will be able to grab an exceptional job for yourself that will be related to one of your friends. The end of May belongs to the transition of Venus to the 11th house, which operates until June 23rd. Now your social side of the personality will also have the opportunity to show itself fully again. You have the opportunity to make new contacts and provide help that will have future benefits for you. You will also tend to infiltrate those friends who move in the upper classes. Since you are very charismatic and physically attractive during this period, you can thrive not only in your social life, but you will also be loved among friends. There is also an opportunity for those who would like to transform the friendship into new opportunities. From July 5th, the planet Mars enters the 11th house and is in the sign of its exile. It goes through a house of blessings and friendships, and during this period you tend to form new relationships. However, they will not be too close to you. This position of Mars also means relationships with people who open up a new worldview for you. Mars also shows you hurt friends from the past who you didn't behave properly. It unlocks old wounds and deepens your suffering and guilt if you hurt an ex-boyfriend. Since July 18th, Venus has been reminding you of its work at the first house, that you, in part, can be partly responsible for the broken friendships and complications in your life so far. It reminds you of the need to remove from your life the dual personality that pulls you back at certain moments in interpersonal relationships. You can use the summer months of 2022 for your own self-development and for the analysis of past friendships. From September 5th, Venus is in the 3rd house in the sign of its fall, and you should be careful about relationships with people who want to get some benefits from you, whether they use you or hurt you. Transit will remind you to get rid of unbalanced friendships quickly, to avoid lending money to those who are always deep in their pockets. Under certain circumstances, you may also meet new people, but transits suggest that these people will be primarily looking for benefits in your relationship. You should watch out for fake friendships throughout September. Avoid any gossip, and don't gossip about your person that you hear about. They could hurt you in the future, your reputation, as well as your emotions. A great opportunity to meet friends, to sit with a glass of wine, lemonade or beer, is brought by the full moon sign of Taurus in the 11th house, in the sign of the elevation of the moon. This period runs from November 7th to 9th, and is a great opportunity to meet your closest friends, bringing you a new, fresh view of the world. By the end of 2022, there are no more transits affecting your friendly interpersonal relationships. You don't have to worry about any betrayal or gossip. On the contrary, you can enjoy a period of peace, when in friendly relations everything will happen according to your ideas. Marriage and Pregnancy Horoscope for Cancer. Marriage Prediction 2022. Are you going to make a marriage commitment in 2022? And are you interested in which dates of 2022 are the most suitable for that? The Horoscope of Love 2022 will also answer these questions, because in this section we will imagine the days which, from the point of view of astrological transits, are the most suitable for concluding a marriage that will be happy and long-lasting. We will also mention the days that are not good for marriage, which you should follow if you are planning a wedding in 2022. In general, we can say that concluding a marriage contract, and a marriage from which you expect happiness throughout life, is certainly not appropriate in the time of retrograde Venus and retrograde Mercury. So January is not a good month to get married. You will also find information on which dates will hit retrograde Mercury, and therefore are absolutely unsuitable for marriages. Since February 11th, the planet Mercury has been in conjunction with Pluto in the 7th house. These days are a great choice for getting married until the end of February, because the energy does not block any negative aspect. From February 11th, there is a great opportunity for a marriage that will be strong and stable. Also, nothing will frustrate your planning, and everything will go according to your ideas. A strong occupied 7th house also means the possibility of extinguishing any family conflicts. A wedding from February 11th until the end of the month is therefore a great idea. Even in March, the negative aspects do not block your decision to enter into a marriage. The whole of March, and even the month of April, are suitable months for marriages, and for a peaceful course of the whole wedding, when nothing goes wrong. From April 5th, Venus enters the 7th house as a sign of her promotion, and the marriages formed during this transit are permanently happy. However, this position of Venus also means a period of great expectations from your partner, so if you get married from April 5th to May 2nd, your partner may feel that you have high expectations of how he should be involved in the preparation of your wedding. So don't push your partner, and arrange everything to the satisfaction of both of you. Since April 29th, the planet Pluto has been moving retrograde, and it may be a more difficult time to get married. There are complications, especially for such bundles, which have gone through a crisis in the past. In the case of such relationships, the marriage will be more complicated. The popular summer days for marriage can therefore face complications, mainly due to the retrograde movement of the planet Pluto, until October 8th. The Horoscope of Love 2022 also draws attention to the period since August 24th, when the retrograde Uranus takes effect, causing certain complications in wedding planning. Scheduled marriages can thus be changed. So if you are going to enter into marriage, and you would like to choose your date thanks to divination, it is clear that the days from February 11th to April 29th are suitable for marriage. Marriages done this way will be happy and lasting, and the planned weddings will take place exactly according to your ideas. Another ideal opportunity for the perfect wedding according to your dreams are the days from December 10th to the end of the year, when Venus passes through 7 astrological houses. Even a wedding during December, full of romance and winter beauty, can be perfect, especially if the energies of Venus passing through the 7th house are added to this beauty, meaning balance, harmonious marriage and a flourishing personal life. Any commitment made from December 10th, 2022 to January 2nd, 2023 will be strong, stable and relentless. However, a warning comes up, because Horoscope 2022 warns you to avoid marriages that are impulsive and hasty. Such marriages can disrupt the relaxed position of Venus and cause future complications in your marriage. Pregnancy Horoscope Cancer 2022. Are you interested in terms that are astrologically appropriate for conceiving a child? Would you like to get pregnant in 2022, and you don't know which days are perfect for that? Of course, it is necessary for every Cancer trying to get pregnant to follow its cycle, but from an astrological point of view, we can predict days that increase the chances of getting pregnant. So let's look at specific terms, which may not be exact. Above all, watch your cycle and the period around the dates, which we will then list. The whole of January is blocked by retrograde movements of the planets, and therefore January is not a suitable time for pregnancy. The first suitable days, which are very favorable in terms of the desire for a child, are the days from February 11th to March 20th. From February 11th, the moon has a very strong influence, which means a positive vibration towards the conception of the offspring. From February 18th, the sun in the 9th house is even added to these energies, when every Cancer longing for a baby has a huge opportunity to get pregnant, because the appropriate movements of the moon intersect with the energy of the strong sun. In Cancer's life, this sun also causes a positive attitude towards travel, so you can make this period with your partner special for romantic moments abroad, or at a cottage near you, where your romantic union of two loving souls will help you produce the desired child. So there is a very long opportunity for Cancer, which is extremely powerful for you to fulfill another big dream in life. Looking at the astrological chart, it is clear that the most opportunities will be given to Cancer longing for a baby in the first half of 2022. As of May 10th, astrological transits no longer indicate opportunities that would enhance your fertility or affect a trouble-free pregnancy without complications. Watch the period from April 7th to 9th and combine it with fertile days, according to your cycle. This way you will have great success in fulfilling the dream of your child. However, the whole of April and the period until May 10th will allow everyone to fulfill a great desire. From May 10th, Mercury will start to move retrograde, and consequently there are no more transits associated with your desire for a baby. Horoscope 2022 in the period from October 23rd to November 16th, Venus is located in the 5th astrological house. This position is especially noticeable to female Cancers who are pregnant. You must be extra careful, especially if you are in a high-risk pregnancy. You should exercise caution in any activity and avoid overpowering your body. Relax and try to draw vitamins into the body through a healthy diet and positive thoughts. The astrological chart does not indicate other complications that would be related to pregnancy during 2022. So if you are looking for a baby, this desire will help you satisfy important dates of the year suitable for conceiving a child. Remember the dates that are most conducive to conceiving a baby for your happiness in 2022. Dear Cancer, if you like the horoscope, please support us and subscribe our channel. For more horoscopes Cancer, visit to links that you can find in the video description. Biggest Horoscope 2022 are prepared by fortune teller and site www.horoscope-divination.com. Wish you all the best in 2022. Career and Financial Horoscope Cancer 2022. Career Horoscope Cancer. At the beginning of 2022, astrological energies are focused mainly on the 7th and 8th houses of Cancer. The 7th house focuses Cancer's attention on love, marriage and personal self-development. You have the opportunity to learn. The planets passing through the 8th house, in turn, point to positive changes in health and Cancer's past. Since February 4th, the Sun has been in conjunction with Saturn, and this positive transit is once again overflowing the energies of the retrograde planets. Concentrates your energy on moving faster before. It will affect both the career area and finance. In many areas of life, you will now realize that you sometimes have to show humility, because you will not always get what you desire. However, the transit gives you the opportunity to leave the old behind and create your own identity. You need to feel recognized so that your mental health is also strong. Now you can take on more responsibility at work, which will result in a better financial reward and a better opinion of yourself. You may also be interested in the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger was born on the day when the transit of the conjunction of the Sun and Saturn was strongly felt. The conjunction of the Sun and Saturn at the beginning of February also gives the unemployed an opportunity to find the coveted job much easier. If you are looking for a job in an area that you enjoy and are interested in, just the opening days of February are great for sending a resume and for successful job interviews. From February 14th, the planet Mercury enters the sign of Aquarius, the 8th house, and remains in this house until March 10th. Direct Mercury is moving from the partnership house to the 8th house of transformation. This position of Mercury means thinking about the future of work and also about finance. The work will be successful for those who perform financial activities, such as consulting, intermediation, insurance, and also for people who work in banks or cover investments. The period from 14th February to 10th March 2022 is also ideal for thinking about investments. You can also consider career advancement. Even those whose work is home care can realize their own selves. Cancer has the perfect opportunity to cleanse energy at home by getting rid of old things that block your energetic growth. Overall care for the household is also suitable, such as changing furniture, making various purchases and replacing unnecessary and damaged things with new ones. The unemployed will once again continue the positive trend, where they have the opportunity to star and find the desired career until March 10th. From the 14th to the 16th of February, the full moon works in the sign of Leo in the 2nd house. This full moon reminds you that it is not important how much property you have, but rather how it fills you with happiness. Again, energy is focused on those who work in the household. You want to adapt your household to your liking. Your partner and your children will appreciate your efforts to make the environment in which you live more pleasant, and February and March are full of opportunities for self-realization. From March 2nd to 3rd, the energy of Cancer reaches the new moon in the 9th house. Now you can long for travel. You will not enjoy the job these days and will not be at the forefront of your interests. From Wednesday, March 2nd, you can enjoy a short vacation or an extended weekend somewhere where you can relax. The lunar position indicates the need to rest and satisfy your curiosity by learning new things. Work Horoscope 2022 Cancer now recommends that you divert your attention from hard work and take a break that will set you off for new career opportunities. If you work in a job that requires continuous education or skill development, you have the opportunity to combine the pleasant with the useful. At the beginning of March 2022, Cancer is given the opportunity for active recreation, which brings you satisfaction and joy, and consequently much more energy for the work you do. From March 20th, you can feel the astrological influence of the Sun entering the 10th house. The Sun is passing through the sign of your exaltation, and whatever introvert you are, you will not escape public attention during this period. This transit usually means recognition, fame and honor. It is an exceptional transit, especially for such Cancers who are looking for their job as actors, musicians, writers and the like. Any activity that results in your publicity will be welcome from March 20th to April 20th. Even Cancers who are interested in literary activity and want to publish their own articles or publish a book have the opportunity to show what is hidden in them these days. But don't despair if your first attempt fails, because as you know, only training and your determination will eventually lead you to your goal. Thus, not only people who work in public places will succeed in their work, but also financial intermediaries, real estate agents and all Cancers whose work is connected with people. You can star at work. Transit has a strong impact mainly on career. Cancer can therefore enjoy success and a huge advantage in the case of competition. If you are at the beginning of your journey, or you are still looking for a job, now you have the opportunity to start from the very beginning and rebuild everything. Things that will be firmer, more successful and long-lasting. So Cancer has a unique opportunity to start from scratch and start a job that will satisfy you not only financially, but also one that will satisfy your soul. The strongest opportunity of 2022 for the unemployed will be the 2 days of April, specifically April 1st and 2nd, 2022. Here, the new moon operates in a neutral position, but focuses its energy on entrepreneurship and opportunities. When the moon passes through the 10th house, it draws attention mainly to the need for emotional and mental satisfaction. Even your household duties and housework will go easily, free of charge. Cancer men will prefer work to privacy these days. The second half of April is marked by the passage of the planet Mars through the 9th house, where Mars remains until May 24th and affects your work. Now you have the opportunity to convince everyone to stand by you. Your personality now has the opportunity for long-term change. Mars in this position will also drive your desire to travel. You will have space, even a great opportunity, to travel to European countries. These paths can be linked to your career advancement. Mars will offer you many opportunities to choose your country of relaxation this year. It can be Italy, Spain, Greece or Turkey, because it is with these countries that the energies of Mars are closely connected. So, if you are asking if you will be able to travel in 2022, or where and when to go on holiday, the answer is to cross Mars with the sign of Pisces until May 24th, 2022. Enjoy a beautiful spring in a country that will endow you with sun and joy. This aspect will also relieve you of financial worries, and will therefore make your decision-making even easier. From May 10th, these plans will be gently affected by retrograde Mercury, but the graph does not suggest that it could cause you major complications when traveling. However, it is necessary to go to your place of rest this year in time, so that you do not delay. Cancers who choose to travel another time will face Venus at work in the 10th house, which will move as a sign of their exile. From May 2nd to 28th, the planet Venus will impress your career. The planet Jupiter, and then Mars are now moving in the 10th house. The coming months will be yours. This location of Venus means many opportunities for every Cancer who want to change jobs, or for unemployed Cancers. However, Venus is in the sign of exile, and therefore a great deal of effort will be needed for your further career development. Nothing will go easy, and you can't rely on opportunities to come your way, and everything will go smoothly. If you are an unemployed Cancer, and you want to apply yourself in a certain direction of life, now is an opportunity for you to rework your life, to try to show the best side of yourself in an interview. Only if you show your intelligence can you be successful in the coming months. If you want to succeed even more than before, the following months must be your full focus on the career. Venus in exile can mean job loss for those Cancers who break certain rules, such as safety at work, alcohol consumption during working hours, various lies, or big mistakes due to inattention. Therefore, pay attention to running projects and your daily work, because inattention at work can rob you, not only of future finances, but also of your reputation. Especially those who work with money have to be careful. May 2022 represents a suitable opportunity for Cancer to make long-term plans. Planets in this position, such as Jupiter since May 10th, are generous to your education and support not only good student outcomes, but also opportunities for learning and personal growth in an area that is relevant to your job. Until July 28th, the planets encourage you to take faster steps and excellent results in started projects. However, each of your work successes will require your full orientation to what you are doing. You need to focus on delivering the best performance, because the months of May and June are months of extremes that will mean either great praise, career growth, but can also mean job loss. Gloomy thoughts may strike you at the end of May due to the fact that your past efforts have not been sufficiently rewarded. This feeling may come from the fact that someone with less knowledge will get a better job position or job opportunities than you. This fact robs you of illusions at work. You are aware of the injustices in your surroundings, which affect your mental health and overall well-being. Fortunately, this period will last only the last 7 days of May and the first 3 days of June 2022. Subsequently, you will be able to focus fully on your work and energy. Although you are aware of the injustice around you that is affecting you at work, you are all the more fighting for a better position in your career life. Mars operating in the 10th house until July 5th indicates an internal riot against the authorities. Transit warns you to avoid progressing only because of your appearance or other values that are not related to the quality of your work. Any bribe received or unprofessional access to work will cause a number of future problems. Therefore, from the end of May until the beginning of July 2022, beware of any temptations that await you at work. From June 4th to October 23rd, you have an excellent opportunity to start your own business. If you are a Cancer who is considering starting a business, the months of June, July, August, September and the first half of October bring you opportunities for business success. Not only can you start a successful business, but you can also dare to start this step in addition to your current job. This transit of retrograde Saturn, which occurs during this period, calls for opportunities for business success, but also means slowing down your normal pace. It means success for entrepreneurs born at any stage of the sign. This transit transforms everything past. It gives better prospects, especially in the area of careers, and it will also have an effect on health. In mid-June, you feel the Sun in square with Neptune. During these days you will need a comprehensive rest. You will not enjoy your work at all, and your vitality and energy will be below the level of manageability. So for a few days around June 16th, you feel a decline in energy, and it is also possible that you will feel exhausted. Fortunately, this impact on your work, which is now linked to your health, will not last long. In the second half of June, the Sun enters your first astrological house and brings determination and initiative. The sunset in this way marks new beginnings for Cancer, especially for the unemployed. You discover new opportunities, and you also get the opportunity for a life change in terms of career. The basis of this transit is self-realization and development of your abilities in terms of work. Since July 5th, when your work is still affected by the positive Mars, the planet Mercury is moving through its first astrological house with its rapid movement. This quick transit means opportunities for creative work that will be a successful end. If you've ever considered writing a book, starting your own blog, or publishing your own recipes, there's no better opportunity than moving this Mercury to your first astrological house. In 2022, for the second time, you get the opportunity for a literary activity, or for any project that is related to writing, publishing, or creativity. Mercury preceding the first house brings inspiration all around. Start with creative activities, which over time can also bring you great financial improvement and overall satisfaction from your life. From July 28th, retrograde Jupiter will be moved to the 9th house. Jupiter placed in this way means great wisdom and energy, which directs Cancer's attention mainly to work achievements. However, every success must be gradual and slow. This fact reminds you of the retrograde Jupiter in the 10th house until October 28th. From September 5th for the rest of the month, Great creativity and the ability to understand others await you. Transit will affect your work ideas, when mainly Cancers who do business thrive. The transit of Venus through the third house brings tremendous creativity and a lot of ideas. Cancers will achieve excellent results at work, and even those who take care of the family and household. The amount of ideas, the huge creativity, and the positive position of Venus in the third house means the seamless generation of good and valuable ideas. Students are also given the opportunity to understand and comprehend more. However, you need to be careful about relationships with people who only want to benefit from you. Especially in the field of career, your co-workers may have bad intentions with you in the future, as Venus is moving as a sign of its fall. At the end of September, the planet Mercury leaves the fourth house and moves to the third house. The moon feels good in this house, and at Cancer it mainly affects students and those who have trouble obeying the authorities. From a negative point of view, your communication can be harsh and insensitive, which will cause many conflicts and misunderstandings, not only during your studies, but also at work. At the end of September, until October 2nd, you may face a problem with the employer or in any employment relationship. Any activity can be even harder now. You are looking for words and your own expression is complicated. The annual horoscope recommends that you now rest more and focus on completing the tasks you have been working on. Do not sign any important documents, do not start new projects, do not enter into new contracts. Even appearing in public, for example for work, will now be more complicated for every Cancer. In October, the 10th astrological house of Cancer is poorly occupied, and the energies of employment are concentrated mainly through good collegial relations. On October 9th and 10th, the full moon works in the 10th house, and Cancer can only move forward if relations with co-workers are good. Unemployed Cancers will also be given the opportunity, if they show their initiative and determination, to work in a team. From November 16th to December 10th, the planet Venus concentrates its energy in the 6th house. You need to be careful about this transit. The transit of Venus in the 6th house means love affairs, especially in the jobs and directions that are related to your work. We have already kept this fact in the horoscope of love, but also in this chapter it is necessary to state that you should be aware of any inappropriate relationships related to your job. These relationships could harm not only your private life, but also your career, and these consequences would persist into the distant future. With his reckless actions, Cancer can make his position at work and his reputation for the future uncomfortable. At the end of 2022, specifically the last month of December 2022, it belongs more to Cancer's personal relationship. Jupiter has been operating since December 20th, and caution and foresight in career advancements are welcome. The key words of this Jupiter transition are ambition, motivation and personal progress. Again, at the end of 2022, from December 20th, transits bring opportunities for the unemployed. Cancer's job opportunities are thus balanced in 2022. There are only a few negative transits during which you need to pay attention to the quality of the work done and to your productivity or reputation. Cancer also gets opportunities to start a business or a number of opportunities for successful literary activity. Cancer households are not affected by any negative aspects, and you can devote your energy to building a happy and harmonious home. According to the astrological chart for 2022 for the sign of Cancer, it is clear that unemployed Cancers will be given many opportunities to find the coveted job in which they will be very successful. Financial Horoscope Cancer 2022. For the first time, the Cancer area will be hit in January, specifically from January 20th, when the Sun enters the 8th astrological house. Until February 18th, the Sun creates a more receptive and sensitive person in this position. You find a job in finance because you understand them more now. The 8th house is favorably occupied by planets during this period, and therefore you have the opportunity to unexpectedly make a greater financial gain or financial improvement. This position of the Sun, which lasts until the second half of February, means financial gain without self-inflict, such as inheritance, wins and the like. At the beginning of February, you can focus on analyzing your finances. Moving the month through the 8th house also allows you to create a financial budget for the entire month, and also evaluate last year's expenses. You want to learn about what was, and what you need to buy, and what is not to ensure your own good financial status for the future. Also, focus on your family members in terms of finances, who may spend more money than they have to. As of February 4th, the retrograde Mercury has been resounding, so the energies are once again concentrating on moving forward faster. You can feel free about finance. Financial dependence on another person will affect you fully right now. In different areas of life, you will realize that you sometimes have to show humility, because you will not always get what you want. You can leave your old, past plans behind and focus fully on your future, especially in the area of money and family budget improvements. In the month of February 2022, you can do a financial analysis of the previous year and focus on the financial planning of the current one. Financial plans do not have to be 100% fulfilled, but they will help you to imagine what year awaits you in terms of finances. Better are more pessimistic plans, with a positive surprise. In the second half of February, Mercury operates through its passage through the 8th astrological house. It makes you think about family money, and connects you to financial matters. It thrives mainly on those who carry out financial activities or work with people. They will have the opportunity to unexpectedly improve their financial resources, mainly through their efforts and work. In February, you will succeed in many advantageous deals, which will mean an extraordinary financial improvement in Cancer's wallet. The period until March 10th is suitable for thinking about investments and for increasing finances. If you work in the household, right now you have the opportunity to sell all the things you do not need in the household, which will bring you financial improvement, but also clean the household. If you are looking for some new furniture or an electrical appliance, you can treat yourself to pleasure in February and March. Shop for things that make your housework easier and give you more creative leisure time. Pay attention to the dates from February 14th to 16th, when the full moon is formed in the second astrological house and means repeated changes in finances. This full moon will remind you that it is not important how much property you have, but how much joy you can indulge in. It is said that you cannot buy happiness for money, but you can look at this wisdom from another point of view. It was in February, in the second half of the year, that you should treat yourself to something that will make you happy, at least for a while. Something for fun, something practical, or something just for you. Be selfish and buy a small thing for yourself. The search for financial security must not stop you from ever enjoying yourself for the money you have earned. The desire for safety and security also has a strong impact on your home, which you want to adapt to your own needs. The end of the month of February belongs to an extraordinary surprise. An event in your area during this time may change your plans. This mainly concerns the area of finance or friendships. In March, you will realize the value of other people in your life. You will care about building interpersonal relationships, and from March 6 to April 5, Venus in your own astrological house means opportunities and new chances. Venus built in this way means financial success for Cancer, especially for those who have good ideas. Therefore, you will perceive the surroundings throughout March and capture the opportunities offered by your friends or family. There is also the influence of Mars in the 7th house, which moves to the 8th house, where it will remain until April 15th. Mars, too, will strengthen your financial well-being and focus even more energy on your great financial success in 2022. Mars in the 8th house also indicates the financial gain that comes from past efforts and past work. Therefore, enjoy the fruits of your efforts. The days from May 23rd to June 3rd can affect your profit and financial status. These days should be directed towards your mental rest, rather than thinking about how to improve your financial status. Any plans, ideas and your efforts will be devalued at the end of May and the first days of June, and you will not receive enough reward for your past efforts. Transits do not affect finance until 19th July. From July 19th, Mercury enters the second house and has a positive impact on Cancer's finances. This position of the planet of communication and intelligence generates a huge amount of ideas, and therefore you have the opportunity to apply. You can even start an activity related to your creativity that will bring you huge financial improvements in the future. Mercury in the second house now means a chance to improve finances through a sale. In Cancer, Horoscope therefore suggests the sale of ideas and projects. So don't be afraid to present and offer your ideas. Even the Sun entering the second house from July 22nd again means an improvement in finances. Cancer will have a lot of financial luck and opportunities for quick unexpected earnings in July. Your ideas of material well-being will now be fulfilled. You are lucky in any area of finance, winning, job evaluation, unexpected inheritance, partner profits, etc. Until August 23rd, however, you may have a great desire to spend money for your own pleasure. During this time, however, this desire is not something bad, and you should indulge in hard work and renunciation in the first half of the year. The culmination of July's happiness and finances occurs from July 28th to 30th, when the new moon is formed in the second house. In July, 3 important planets will hit Cancer's finances and mean financial well-being and great happiness. Wondering when is the best time to buy a lottery ticket or scratch card? The answer is just in the month of July, and especially in these 3 days of the new moon, in the sign of Leo. From August 11th to September 5th, Venus passing through the second astrological house will have a beneficial effect on your finances. However, for women born in the sign of Cancer, it means great extravagance. Cancer women should therefore guard their expenses until 5th September. From October 25th, you will feel a strong new moon in the 5th house. The moon passes through its sign of fall, and these days the positive energies of the sun will disrupt you, because you may succumb to bad advice about your finances. Even raising children will wrinkle your forehead, as it will be associated with large financial expenses. The best thing to do these days is to focus on your own views and your own perception of the world. You must not allow other people's opinions on your expenses and your financial planning to disturb your own selves. The end of October 2022 will be associated with unexpected financial expenses that will be related to your family members. The last months of 2022 have not focused any energy in a positive or negative direction, affecting your finances. You are looking for a balance between work and private life, and between strengthening your health. The months of November and December will be focused on astrological houses that are not related to Cancer's finances, and therefore you will not have any extraordinary expenses, but also extraordinary profit. Dear Cancer, if you like the horoscope, please support us and subscribe our channel. For more horoscopes Cancer, visit to links that you can find in the video description. Biggest Horoscope 2022 are prepared by fortune teller and site www.horoscope-divination.com. Wish you all the best in 2022. Health and Vitality Horoscope Cancer 2022. In terms of aromatherapy, citrus oils, such as mandarin and orange, are oils that in 2022 will help Cancer overcome sadness, depression, but also pain. To eliminate unpleasant headaches, or to be able to relax perfectly, so that you have to surround yourself with citrus scents. Orange oil will help you from headaches or stressful situations. Mandarin oil, in turn, will strengthen your defenses and increase your energy and vitality. Oils should be a regular part of your home and office by 2022 to remove any pain, to relieve stress, and to bring energy back to your normal days. On January 16th and 17th, you perceive the full moon in the first astrological house. This location of your ruling planet causes instability in energies and can be disruptive to long-term planning. The house of personality also affects your mental health. In the positive direction, therefore, the full moon in your zodiac sign brings opportunities for thorough care for others that they will appreciate, but you also have time to devote yourself to your own mental growth. In January, look for self-love and try to clean up your own emotions for your strong mental health. Your energy is less, so be more careful in cold weather. From January 20th, the Sun moves to the 8th house, where it is placed until February 18th. This position of the Sun means happiness in several directions, and because it is settled in the sign of its exile, sudden and unexpected changes in your health can occur. Therefore, you could exercise caution to escape the health complications that may affect you from the second half of January to the first half of February. Beware of sudden illness or injury in the period from February 1st to 3rd, when the sign Cancer perceives the new moon in the 8th house. You analyze more, not only your finances, but also the health of your family members. Beware of those family members who are overcoming a chronic and long-lasting disease in terms of health. The disease can worsen under the influence of the ruling planet in the 8th house. Your mental health is enhanced by the Sun in conjunction with Saturn at the beginning of February 2022. From the point of view of health, this aspect means great resilience, and since you feel recognized and admired at work, it will move your self-confidence and self-love. Even the stress of looking at the February transit will certainly not affect you, so you have the opportunity to enjoy all the gifts that astrological February transits bring you. In terms of astrological influences, the first half of 2022 will be much happier than the second. You will have the opportunity to immerse yourself deeply in your own emotions and thoughts, and move forward in several areas of life. Under the influence of several work duties, you will tend to be stressed, but in the first half of the year, aromatherapy will help you to overcome these moments perfectly, as we mentioned in the introduction to this horoscope. From February 18th, the Sun enters the 9th house and moves to a comfortable position in the sign of Pisces. It works in the house of philosophy, which is also responsible for the fertility of Cancer. From the point of view of health, it brings enormous energy to women, especially those who are trying to get pregnant and those who take care of children in the household. This transition of the Sun brings positive energy into the lives of those who overcome long-term illness. You will be able to discover new ways to strengthen your health and feel better. From an astrological point of view, transit also allows you to meditate and give you more free time just for yourself, which will have a positive effect on your overall personal health. On March 2nd and 3rd, you will be hit by a new moon in Pisces, when you can enjoy a short holiday or an extended weekend. This decision will help you relax perfectly. This lunar position also indicates the need to rest and satisfy your curiosity by learning new things. It is very appropriate to be educated in the field of health and to look for solutions to health problems, not only of yours, but of members of your family. If you can, explore the world around you, discover and identify new things. Read not only about aromatherapy, but also about herbs that can strengthen your health during 2022. There is an ideal opportunity for active recreation, but also for the joy of education, from a health point of view. Women born in the sign of Cancer will be most affected by this lunar transition, who should be careful when driving and using medication correctly. All Cancers should take care of their health in the period from April 30th to May 1st, when you will long for peace and moments of leisure, which you want to use only for your rest. You will be solitary and a little selfish, because you get the opportunity to relax on your own. Meditate, relax, which will significantly strengthen your health. If you do not use these 2 days for a good rest and a restart of your mental and physical body, this new month may cause you a more complicated period during May, when you will feel an imbalance and loss of energy. You need to restart your vitality and energy. Make the most of your free time, because otherwise the new moon will rob you, not only of your good immunity, but also of quality sleep. In May, Mercury gets into retrograde motion from 10th to 23rd May. It will be difficult to cooperate with Mercury in the 12th house. You will focus on past conversations, end your past disputes, and return your thoughts to where you can no longer change anything. Your thoughts will focus on your own secrets and the consequences they may have. The desire to escape from reality now engulfs you, so you try to seek solitude and immerse yourself even more inside. This aspect will mainly affect your mental health and may affect you fully. Remember again citrus oils, which will help you overcome a mentally demanding period in 2022. From May 15th, the Sun squares Saturn will also be added to this action of Mercury. This aspect again reinforces your desire to seek solitude, because you are frustrated by friendships that bring you nothing. Especially when it comes to the health of loved ones, your attention is required. Your own transformation now means above all an awareness of the value of the health and mortality of yourself and your loved ones. The period of full moon from 16th to 18th May in the 6th house indicates a mild colder fluctuating immunity. So bet on the herb echinacea, which is your herb of 2022, and do not underestimate warm clothes on cold nights, when you can easily get sick. The moon in the sign of Sagittarius also causes back pain, and during these days, intensifies the suffering of people suffering from these pains. From June 4th to October 23rd, every Cancer feels retrograde Saturn in the 8th house. Saturn is located in your house, and thus gives you the opportunity to succeed in several ways. From a health point of view, you have the opportunity to be reborn. The old karma of pain and suffering that may have tormented you over the years is now disappearing, and you can find new ways to heal. The overall vitality and energy is strong, and your health is strengthened. Transit transforms everything in the past into better prospects, whether in the field of health or other important directions of Cancer's life. This transit will perhaps only cancel the period from 13th to 14th June, when the full moon is formed in the sign of Sagittarius, and can again cause unexpected pain. Especially men born in the sign of Cancer should be careful about their health these days. Those on a diet can include lemon water in their diet, which boosts your defenses and improves your metabolism. You will need a comprehensive rest throughout June, because the Sun square Neptune also affects the June chart. Some things in your life will frustrate you, and you may feel a decline in energy if you underestimated meditation or your mental recovery in the first half of 2022. Your mental stability may be weakened at this time, so you may react to others. Exaggerated. In the month of July, there are no transits that would negatively or positively affect the health energies of the Cancer sign. From August 20th until the end of 2022, pay special attention to all your addictions that can negatively affect your health. Avoid alcohol, cigarettes or drugs, or other things on which you are addicted. It can also apply to food, sweets, medicines and other ailments that rob you of good mental and physical health. To strengthen your defenses, Horoscope 2022 recommends that you familiarize yourself with the herb echinacea, which will help you with any cold or flu epidemic. This herb has long been one of the most distinctive medicinal plants, whose purple flower activates white blood cells, which protect the body from the dangerous effects of toxins from the environment. You can also use this herb for stomach problems, to overcome cancer, but especially when you need to move in society and want to increase your defenses. During the colder months, it is an excellent choice to bet on a tasty tea from this herb, which will thus fully show its strength to you. On the 23rd, 24th and 25th of September 2022, the new moon in the 3rd house acts on you, which focuses its energy mainly on calming the mental unrest in the mind of Cancer. Any thoughts about the past that bothered you in the first half of the year will now be balanced and will not cause you future mental health problems. They should be especially careful of women born in the sign of Cancer, who may be more affected by the retrograde influence of Mercury on family relationships, and thus cause sadness, depression, or general mental disharmony. Your family relationships may bother you more now than ever before, so again, don't forget about citrus oils, which boost your energy and mental balance. You should include many more vegetables in your diet in the second half of the year than before. Do not avoid such vegetables, which you do not normally consume, and buy, for example, fennel, leeks, spinach, because these vegetables will have a positive effect on your health in 2022, especially at the end. Don't forget about lemon water, which helps with harder digestion and helps boost your energy. In October, you feel Venus in a Scorpio, specifically from October 23rd to November 16th. Venus is moving from her home to the sign of her exile, which will have a strong effect on several Cancers. The fifth astrological house is now occupied by planets and focuses mainly on the realm of love. But beware of your health. The huge exclamation point is aimed mainly at those women who are currently in high-risk pregnancies. Pregnant women should exercise caution in any activity and avoid overpowering their bodies. Venus in her exile is a complicated position, so you must pay special attention to your health until November 16th. On the other hand, this Venus is associated with the joy of raising children, which will help you get your mental health to a loving level. From November 17th, you will feel Mercury entering the 6th house, when you can fully engage in finding the health problem that is bothering you. From November 17th to December 6th, you will be able to find the cause or solution to your illness. You can also help others in the family who suffer from a persistent or chronic health problem. By entering the sign of Sagittarius until December 25th, the Sun strongly develops your energy, so that you can devote yourself fully to your health and work. You find a balance between your responsibilities and rest, and thus end the month of November. A positive view of your health will enrich your vitality. There are no illnesses or complications related to your health waiting for you in December. You will fully focus on your love, whether in the family, in a partnership, in or on your love for children. The year 2022 is quite balanced from the point of view of health, but it brings a warning, for example, for pregnant Cancers, who must pay special attention to their health. The year 2022 means a period suitable for the discovery of aromatherapy and the study of herbs that improve your health and help you treat long-term illnesses. Transits do not indicate any unexpected death or illness that would affect the life balance of Cancer in 2022. Dear Cancer, if you like the horoscope, please support us and subscribe our channel. For more horoscopes Cancer, visit to links that you can find in the video description. Biggest Horoscope 2022 are prepared by fortune teller and site www.horoscope-divination.com. Wish you all the best in 2022.